Welcome to Informed Tourist A.I. This is Curtis, your traveling guru. You clicked on this video because you saw a ghost town underwater. It's real. What you're seeing isn't CGI or a movie set, it's a town sacrificed for progress. Entire communities have been flooded to power our cities and light up our lives. Most of us never think about what was lost beneath these lakes. This isn't a dystopian movie, it's history, submerged. Today on Informed Tourist A.I. we're diving into the eeriest places you'll never visit unless you're a scuba diver. Real towns intentionally flooded for massive dams. Homes, cemeteries, entire main streets, gone, all for hydroelectricity. It's clean, efficient, and powerful, but the cost is buried deep underwater. We'll explore these lost towns, from the American West to the Welsh valleys. Each is a monument to what was lost for a brighter future. And the last town? It resurfaces every few years like a real-life Atlantis. No mermaids, just haunting history. Let's dive in. First stop, the Nevada desert, under Lake Mead, St. Thomas. Founded in 1865, it was a real town school, post office, shops, even an ice cream parlor. It thrived for decades, a key stop between Salt Lake City and Los Angeles. Then came the Hoover Dam in the 1930s, a marvel for most, a death sentence for St. Thomas. The government bought out residents. There was no choice, the water was coming. Imagine watching your neighbors leave one by one until you're the last. That was Hugh Lord. He stayed until the water lapped at his door, set his house on fire and rode away, the last man out. For 60 years St. Thomas was a memory, submerged beneath Lake Mead, but drought and water demand have dropped the lake's levels. Now, St. Thomas is re-emerging. Schoolhouse foundations, hotel remnants, and tree skeletons are visible again. It's a haunting tourist site, managed by the National Park Service. You can walk the old streets, see the grit of the town. It's a stark reminder of the price of progress and the impact of climate change. St. Thomas is both a history lesson and an ongoing event. When you see the Hoover Dam or Las Vegas, remember St. Thomas. The power and water that built the modern West came at a cost. For one Nevada town, that meant being washed away, only to reappear as a ghostly warning from beneath the waves. The ruins are a monument to resilience and loss. It's not just history, it's happening now. The past isn't always buried forever. Sometimes it rises back up to remind us what we've lost. Would you walk those sun-bleached streets? Or is it too haunting to face the cost of our progress? St. Thomas asks us to remember, and to look beneath the surface, literally. The story isn't over. It's still being written every time the water recedes. That's the real price of power. Next, Northern California, Kennett, once the heart of a copper mining boom. In the early 1900s, Kennett was Shasta County's powerhouse: hotels, saloons, a massive smelter, thousands of residents. Then came the Shasta Dam, part of the Central Valley Project. The dam would create California's largest reservoir, Shasta Lake, flooding Kennett and neighboring towns. The government cleared forests, rerouted highways, and dismantled buildings. When the dam was finished in 1945, the waters rose, swallowing Kennett. Today it lies under 400 feet of water, mostly inaccessible, a lost world. But during droughts, lake levels drop, and Kennett's remnants reappear. Stone foundations, bridge abutments, fragments of old highways. Boaters and hikers stumble upon these relics, a tangible link to a forgotten chapter. Shasta Lake's beauty hides a complex, tragic history. Kennett's story is one of industrial might replaced by another. A town built on extracting resources was consumed by a project to control nature itself. Progress demanded a sacrifice. The old made way for the new. But as the waters rise and fall, Kennett reminds us, every winner in progress leaves a loser behind. The ruins are a ghostly warning. The past is never truly gone. It waits beneath the surface, ready to return. Would you visit the muddy shoreline to see what's left? Or is it better to let sleeping towns lie? Kennett's legacy is buried deep, but not forgotten. The lake is a monument to both progress and loss, and the story is still visible if you know where to look. Now to Wales, Capel a story of culture drowned, not just land. Capel was a Welsh-speaking farming village, a bastion of national identity. In 1957, the UK Parliament decided to flood the Tryweryn Valley to supply water, not for Wales but for Liverpool, England. Every Welsh MP but one opposed it, but London overruled them. The village fought back protests, marches, even sabotage, but the project moved forward. Families were forced out, their homes demolished, graves exhumed. In 1965, the valley was flooded, erasing Capelsellen beneath Linsellen Reservoir. The last chapel service and the schoolhouse vanishing beneath the water became symbols of Welsh grievance. Cofeach Drywerin, remember Trywerin, became a rallying cry, painted on walls across Wales. The reservoir's levels rarely drop, so the village doesn't reappear. But its memory is alive, taught in schools, marked by murals, fueling Welsh nationalism. Capelsellen's loss is a permanent wound, a story of politics, powerlessness, and cultural erasure. The reservoir looks peaceful, but for many its waters hold a bitter history. This wasn't just about engineering, it was about identity. The scars are on the soul of a nation, not just the land. Capelsellen stands as a warning. Progress can drown more than buildings, it can drown a culture. The name lives on as a symbol of the fight for respect and recognition. Some losses are never truly submerged. Australia's Snowy Mountains, Old Adaminaby, a town with a different fate. The Snowy Mountains hydroelectric scheme needed a massive reservoir. Lake Eucumbene. Old Adaminaby was in the flood zone, but instead of abandoning it, authorities moved over 100 buildings, houses, shops, churches, 6 miles to a new site. It was a logistical marvel, entire neighborhoods driven down the road. Not everything could be moved. Stone and brick buildings were left behind. In 1957 the waters rose, submerging what was left. For decades, Old Adaminaby was just a story, but during severe droughts the lake drops and the old town re-emerges, streets, foundations, stone walls. People walk the main street of a town underwater for half a century. It's a surreal connection between past and present. The new town thrives, but the ruins are a pilgrimage for those who remember. Old Adaminaby's story is one of resilience and adaptation. The community was uprooted but not destroyed. Its history waits beneath the water, ready to return. Sometimes the past is just below the surface. Russia, Kalyazin, and its iconic bell tower rising from the Volga River. Kalyazin was an ancient town, rich in history and culture. In the 1930s, Stalin's industrialization flooded the town for the Uglich hydroelectric station. Most of Kalyazin was demolished, residents relocated, history erased. But the belfry of St. Nicholas Cathedral, built in 1800, was left standing. As the reservoir rose in 1940, the bell tower became a surreal monument, its spire rising from the water. For years it stood alone, encased in ice in winter, surrounded by boats in summer. Eventually, authorities reinforced its foundation and built a small island around it. Now, it's a celebrated tourist attraction featured on postcards and travel guides. The bell tower is beautiful, but it's also a grave marker for a drowned city. Every photo is a reminder of what was lost. Time has turned destruction into fascination. The tower is a symbol of both tragedy and resilience. We marvel at its beauty, but must remember the thousands displaced and centuries erased. The bell tower is a scar, haunting, unforgettable. Would you visit for the photo, or to remember the city beneath the waves? Kalyazin's story is a lesson in what progress can cost. Sometimes the most beautiful landmarks are born from loss. Northern Portugal, Vilarinho de Furna, a village with a unique communal life. For centuries, land and resources were shared, managed by a council of family heads. In 1967, a dam was planned on the Homem River. Vilarinho de Furna was in the way. The villagers were offered compensation, but money couldn't replace their home or way of life. In 1971, before leaving, they threw their house keys into a communal well, a final act of unity. The dam was completed and the village disappeared beneath the reservoir. An ethnographic museum preserves artifacts, but the living community was scattered. During dry years, the water recedes and the ghost village re-emerges. Stone houses, cobblestone paths, the communal oven. Former residents and tourists walk the silent streets, sharing stories of the life that once filled them. The re-emergence is a living museum, a powerful event. Vilarinho de Furna's loss is not just about buildings, but a unique social system. The empty houses are a testament to a way of life sacrificed for electricity. Progress erased more than a village, it erased a culture. The ruins are a reminder, some things lost can never be rebuilt. Would you visit to witness the return of a vanished world, or is it too bittersweet to see what's left behind? Back to California, Napa Valley's Monticello, now at the bottom of Lake Berryessa. Monticello was a prosperous farming town, famous for orchards and ranches. In the 1940s, the Solano project planned a dam to create a reservoir for agriculture. The town fought for a decade, but the government prevailed. By 1957, Monticello was cleared, cemeteries moved, buildings demolished, the valley filled, transforming into Lake Berryessa. The ruins rarely resurfaced, the lake is deep, but Monticello left behind the glory hole, a massive concrete spillway. When the lake is full, water pours into this 72-foot-wide funnel, creating a viral spectacle. The glory hole is an engineering marvel and a tourist attraction, but it exists only because Monticello was sacrificed. The town is gone, but its memory swirls in the vortex. The glory hole is both a monument to ingenuity and a reminder of what was lost. Would you visit for the spectacle, or to remember the community beneath the waves? Monticello's legacy is strange, a town lost, a marvel gained. The cost of progress is sometimes hidden in plain sight. Finally, Terry, India, perhaps the most haunting of all. An ancient city at the confluence of two sacred rivers, Terry was a center of culture and religion. The Terry Dam, one of the world's tallest, flooded the city and displaced over 100,000 people. Protests and warnings couldn't stop it. Today, a massive reservoir covers the old city. Locals report seeing temple tops below the water and hearing the ghostly sound of bells from beneath the surface. These submerged towns force us to confront the hidden cost of our power and convenience. Would you visit a drowned town for the story? Or is it too tragic, too haunting? If you found this journey chilling, subscribe for more honest travel deep dives on Informed Tourist AI. Tell us in the comments, how far would you go for a story?